Hello everyone, welcome to Black Arrow Gaming. I'm Bob, and this is the 9th episode in my third Age of Wonders 3 Advanced Strategy series. I am mostly, at this point in this series, getting ready to attack. I guess that's the biggest news. Going to try to go after the rogue here pretty soon. My main army is in this area. They've come all the way down through here, cleared out a bunch of stuff. There's some decent city spots down here. And the main plan is to send them up this road and then around and up that cave entrance, which will take me right here, near where my crow is, within range of what I presume to be the rogue capital, the Tigran rogue capital, down right below me. So I'll be exploring a little bit more in the next turn. I have to, well, actually that crow is probably going to get killed, but I'm assuming they will go after him. I would be able to run away, but that trebuchet will probably kill him. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Otherwise, up north, I've got these armies moving along, getting ready to complete a quest for the orcs, and then going back to join up with this bard, going down here to try to, here to clear some structures and hopefully convert some units. So let's go ahead and go over the comments from last week. Just a few to go over. The first one I want to talk about is Silly Putty. He had mentioned to me that vassal city cost is partially determined by distance. I didn't know that. It probably tells you that if I actually stop to read the reasons for the cost. But if you highlight this, it does say distance from your closest city is adding plus 353 to the amount of money it would take to make this city a vassal. So if I build a city closer to these guys later on in the game, I can actually get them for a lot cheaper. That's something I'd never really noticed before, in part because I never really bothered to stop and read that tooltip. And so that's why reading is important, I guess. So there's that. If I've, haven't made that clear enough before, it's because I didn't really know what I was doing in that regard. So thank you, Silly Putty. I appreciate that. It's good to know. And it makes a lot of sense now. Honorbon Data had mentioned that I should consider getting destabilized mana core for my dreadnought, combining that with forge aprons and some fire resistant units. And I'm in the wrong spot. Some fire resistant units. The destabilized mana core, I should look up exactly what it does, but I know it's a battlefield fire spell, I think. In fact, I'm going to look that up. Mana core. So it summons a destabilized mana core above the battlefield. It will detonate within 2 turns, dealing 60 fire damage to all units on the battlefield. It's just a mass fireball spell, or like mass fire damage spell. But if you can combine that with the dreadnought that has forge aprons for his army and some fire resistant units, that could be really useful, allowing me to severely damage very big armies, and then maybe even retreat and then come back with a different group to finish off softened up units. That's definitely worth considering, but it's a little ways off. I won't get there for a while. This is a tier 7 dreadnought spell, so it's something to work towards with this guy, or where is he? With that guy right there. But I won't be able to get that for a while yet, as far as I know. Something I can do now, though, is he also suggested that I could get Call Ancestral Spirits on my druid up here, and I'll talk about that in a little bit more in detail later, but I am going to try to get that. Call Ancestral Spirits have a spirit breaking ability. The Ancestral Spirit has a spirit breaking ability on their attack, which would make units more vulnerable to being befriended or charmed. So that would be work very well with that Tigran Bard when she gets caught up, make it a little more likely for me to be able to charm enemy units. So I think that's a great idea, and I'll try to remember to pick that up with her as soon as I can. The last one to go over, Arch Redbeard, was just clarifying for me personally how lifesteal works as you try to move towards getting improved life drain. So there's actually 4 different levels of lifestealing abilities. 2 of them are actually called lifesteal, 2 are called life drain, and they all stack. So it starts with lifesteal, improved lifesteal, then life drain, and improved life drain. If you can actually create a sword, which I think you can at the item forge, which I will build in this city eventually, but if you can create a forge and build an item that gives you, like a sword that gives you life drain right off the bat, then it only takes 1 more life stealing level, I guess you could call it, to get to improved life drain, which is the best that you can get. And that's something I'll want on my dreadnought eventually, especially if I can get him hooked up with tireless. Alright, so for now, I'm going to go ahead and just keep moving. I got this builder heading down here to clear some area around the city. And I did decide that I think I was going to go ahead and dig that all out because one thing the city will be making is succubi. I was thinking about this. Succubi would be able to fly right along this lava river, so it would actually probably be good for me to have a way for them to get out faster. In fact, I might want to dig out some of this stuff, and they could fly a pretty straight route through the underground. So that would be pretty helpful. I still have movement left from my scout here. I did find this enemy city down here, and that is the blue... That's a necromancer. Not sure which one that is. That would be the draconian necromancer. Not as worried about him as I am about the rogue. I want the rogue to go first, in part because she seems to be closest to me, and in part because the rogue spells that demoralize your units are just really messy, and I don't want to deal with those. I've lost an entire game just because of those units, so prefer not to do that again. I can't go any further this way without flying through their territory, and I don't know if that's a good idea, because I have to remember I don't have a chance, since it's not on simultaneous turns, to move again real quickly at the beginning of the next turn. I don't know what's through there, but if my crow ends its turn on any of those tiles, it's probably going to die. So instead, I'm going to send him... Well, no, there's probably nothing down there worth checking out. I would like to see what's over here, but I also know I saw that orc army in that area recently, plus my king's army is going to be going right through here before long. So I think I'd rather send my crow up here and then around and get it into that water. So I'm going to pull him back. He is done digging for this turn, I believe. Alright, so that wraps up that turn. I think I was going to go ahead and launch this battle here before I left, but I'm going to wait and let the Forge Priest heal, I think was my plan. Yeah, that's all. Not forgetting to cast any spells or do anything like that, so I could just go to the next turn. Shouldn't have to worry about anything jumping me. They're trying to disjunct treasure raiding now. That's kind of not as big of a deal. Okay, good. These guys are going to go ahead and attack me. This will finish the quest for the orcs. Them disjuncting treasure raiding probably isn't that big of a deal because my king's army has already raided most of the treasures, but this army is going to be... could make use of it, because they're about to go down to where there's like a trading post and stuff. Well, they're going to come to me because they attacked me, so I may as well get a defensive position here and kind of hold my ground. Let's put the druid in the back, the mage on the side. Berries, and see just kind of how they approach me. I'm up against just a bunch of martyrs, so these units usually aren't so bad. And alright, they've set themselves up for a decent attack. So I can move. I can definitely kill one of them. Probably well more than that. The fences and stuff that they're behind kind of get in the way. Let's see here. Can't actually hit him. Okay. Again, trying to avoid taking damage whenever I can. Set him on fire. I may be able to hurl a net at that one that's further away, although I'm less likely to kill him as well. That might not be a good idea. Let's get you in range so you can hit that guy. Not as much damage as I had hoped I'd be able to do. Sun Guards can't do anything useful, so I'll just send them out on the flank. I'm gonna get these guys up towards the front, because that's definitely where I will need them to be. Okay, good. Got another level for the mage. That's important. I won't be able to kill them on this turn unless I use the Prowlers to finish them off, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I could charge that Orc Martyr and maybe kill him, but I probably wouldn't. So I'm just going to leave them on defense. Hopefully he fumbles his attack with being on fire. Okay, so took a fairly small amount of damage there. Easily healed for my druid. And I'll give whatever extra XP I can to the mage. So I want to make sure he gets a shot in. And probably let the, well actually I might want to let the Sun Guards level up because they get projectile reflection. The fairies upgrade to gold rank isn't really that good. I think it gives them cure disease or something like that, if I remember correctly. Go ahead and look real quick. Yeah, they get cure disease at elite rank. Okay, so I can claim my reward. It gives me a new vassal city, gives me a new unit. I can hopefully start growing this army towards becoming a larger fighting force, like maybe 2 groups, kind of like I did with my army in the south. I have a decision to make, though. I wanted to go south and start clearing room for a city down here. I'm thinking maybe I could do that later. If I clear this structure, and I won't be able to get that one. My army's not strong enough. I think I'm going to continue on and get rid of that bandit camp so it doesn't spawn units and cause trouble. The one thing that is nice is that as long as they're a vassal, I won't lose that city. But I'm not going to want to leave them as a vassal forever. I am going to want to use that city. So I'm going to go ahead and take out this camp. Oh, there's 2 groups of bandits. Might want to attack from a side instead of straight up front. Just to do one at a time. The other group I could split off the faster units and go after them. Yeah, I'll do this. This way, at least, the way... Well, actually, it didn't matter, because... Yeah, it does matter. I wanted one group to be further away from me than the other. So they have to spend time running over here, which means that this group can and needs to, like, just go after these guys really fast and really hard. Just gonna go hit them with everything I've got. Because I don't really like getting a big group of these guys together against me, because they all have sprint, so they'll all try to backstab you. It's not something I want to mess with. Let's see, you can go here. I would like him to destroy that gate so that the chariot can run right through. Just hit it. Ooh, a nice critical hit. That was convenient. Okay, they completely failed at breaking that wall. I want to get her more experience too, so that I can get that those Ancestral Guardians sooner rather than later. I'm not sure how much they cost. Okay, he's got all that resistance, so he can handle several crossbow hits, no problem. Is that thing in the way? That's another obstacle. Alright, well, it doesn't matter because the fairies are going to absolutely fry that guy. We can break through that too. Alright. How about... No, they've got sprint, so getting in their face wouldn't really matter much. I need to get my other units through, though. So... Whoops, I did that wrong. I probably should have flanked them. Well, I can with the mage. Good, he turned him in the right angle. So I can still flank that guy. Alright, cool. She doesn't really have a shot on... Well, she's got a shot on him, so I'll take it. Okay, and here come all the flanks. He's bleeding. I need to heal that guy. Alright, that should be more than enough to kill him. Fairies should probably go finish that guy off. They might be able to get him in 2 shots. Yep. Those Nightshade Fairies are so good. I love those units. Alright. You need to turn around. Or just get netted. Nope. Well, I can move him here. Move her here. They're crippled, I think. Alright. There we go. A little more XP for that mage. Ooh, I got a Sun Guard out of that, and the Hooded Doctor's Rifle. Both great weapons. This probably should go to the Druid, giving her an alternative to shoot longbow, something that can be used at closer range for more one-shot power. But for now, I'm going to have him hold on to it, because she needs to stay with the rest of that army. Okay, I'm going to upgrade him to Sorcery too, start buffing his casting points a bit. I do want a little bit of health, though. No, I'll take Sorcery for now. I want to turn him into more of a spellcaster, especially now that, oh, I'm at my mana cap. Yeah, I got to do something about that. I need to keep casting spells as often as I can. So yeah, I need to remember to use his spell casting. Okay, I've got another unit, so that makes 2 units out of what will eventually be the next army. Put him back there for now. I got a Frostlink Theocrat offered to join me. Theocrat would be good. It would go well with my conversion strategy. Frostlinks don't necessarily like being underground, though. However, on the other hand, a Theocrat also has that happiness bonus, which would kind of negate... They can get that chaplain ability, which would kind of negate their low morale. And it would also buff the Tigrin's morale. I think... Well, I'm not particularly happy about this being a Frostling. I think having a Theocrat is a little too useful to pass up. So I will take that. And I guess, as much as I want him to be out fighting right now, I don't know where he would go. Like, I guess I could... Well, he would catch up pretty quickly to the rest of that group. I don't want to have to leave too many units sitting back here, especially not a hero. So I'm going to have him go out and join these armies up here. He also would be a great healer. In fact, he would be really good to have down with my other armies in the south. But it'd take him so long to get down there. And I'm afraid of running him through the underground without any backup. Although he does have holy magic, so at least spirit elementals wouldn't be a problem. What would be the quickest way to get him down to where my king is? The problem is this is all blocked off. Need someone to dig through that so that I can send units straight and then he can meet with them super easy. Well, hang on. I've got this builder coming through this way in close to the same area. Could dig a tunnel through here, then dig down through that. I think that's all just soft dirt. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm going to send him down towards my king. He'll get there before the builder does, but the builder will have that haste berries, which will help out. Well, won't help out as much as I was hoping. I'm 1 turn away. Ah. That's annoying. And the haste berries doesn't really help me out at all. But... Alright, see, that's the chaplain ability that I was talking about. However, since he's off by himself right now, I'm going to buff some of his main stats. Buff his defense. Yeah. Get his resistance and defense kind of evened out a little bit. Maybe give him Bestow Iron Heart, because that's useful whether he's with other people or alone. Aura of Resistance would boost his resistance again. Wonder if I should send somebody with him, just for this leg of the journey, because he's going to get there before the builder does, anyway. And this city doesn't appear to be any danger right now. There's obviously nothing that's going to come from that island. The only way stuff would come from after this city would have to be... If it came from this way, I would see it near this city first. It would have to come from this direction. And since I'm going to have a city here, I know nothing can spawn in here. It would have to come right through the same path that I'm taking with these units. Well, I suppose something could walk past them this way while they're going down this way. But as of right now, I would still see them. So I think that with that in mind, I should probably send these units down just to kind of help protect that hero so he's not running off by himself. Okay, that was failed, but I can't spend the mana to reinforce it right now, because on the next turn I'll finish the Masters Guild and will want to start making these Tigran Mystics, which I can make in... Well, I will be able to make in one turn. Once the Masters Guild is done, I will have exactly 100 production, as long as the happiness doesn't change or anything like that. I'm not ready to make a decision. You know, I'll lay down some money for the storehouse, but I might undo that again later. Oops, I don't need to mess with any of those alliance proposals. I know I'm not going to take any of those. So this city here just got... well, it's going to grow again in another turn. Just got that Flow Rock Quarry, and this is probably the city I'll go ahead and just keep upgrading. That Masters Guild is too much money. I will eventually need that, because it'll grow from town to... Well, actually, it's only a town. It'll grow to city, then metropolis, and I haven't even put a stone wall in it yet. So I don't think I need the Grand Palace in this city if I build a stone wall, which might be a good idea for me to have anyway if I can get a range unit in there. Might just make a shredder real fast. I think I need to still continue to focus more heavily on that city and let this one kind of just sit for a while, because I can't clear anything in it. Wait, not merchandise, gotta remember. Still would rather have build housing there. The building housing in this city is actually doing more for its population growth than building a storehouse for now. Alright. I've got my builder's hall. I'm going to, again, probably upgrade population in this city. The gold's getting to where it would be kind of useful to have that extra gold, but for the time being, I would rather have them grow again and get the happiness bonuses from this structure. I'm going to say housing. And that leaves me with this city, which I will leave on merchandise for now until I can get the... Well, I could go ahead and get the stone wall now, actually. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It's going to take one turn, so I'll start the wooden wall so I can get the stone wall afterwards. I might not have enough money to build the stone wall and the Tigran Mystics on the next turn, so... And I'm afraid you guys are stuck with merchandise again. Really need more money. Okay, they didn't actually kill my crow above ground, which is odd, but they are sending a succubus after it. I want to find out if that's their capital down there. So while this is probably going to be a suicide mission for my crow... Oh hey, that orc army came back above ground. Must have used that cave entrance. This is probably going to be a suicide mission for my crow, but I need to see what's in here. That is their throne city, so I know where I'm going. And I don't think there's anywhere that crow can go to hide. I may as well just explore a little more. Could have probably sent it that way to see if there was anything my army would be running past, but they'll find it when they get there. Okay, need that money. There you go. Stay there. This bard's almost caught up to the rest of this group, so that's good. Make sure she gets those haste berries. On the next turn, I'll hopefully be able to start trying to convert some stuff. Not sure about that orc priest. I mean, this army's coming back, so I may as well send him to where the next battle is going to take place, which is going to be probably here. Close. No, I get it. I get it. Let me know when you're ready to talk. Got it. Actually, I'll send him here just so he's next to her in case something I didn't see comes running up and attacks. Because it's going to take them a turn to get back anyway, my other units. Whoops. Omen of the Dove. Okay, that's interesting. That actually is, I think, good for me considering the battle I'm about to do down here. Because I don't have a whole lot of physical attackers, but I do have fire damage and these guys that throw magic. I'm going to go ahead and do this battle now. Alright. The spider's on fire. And they're going to let me come to them. In this case, I would go after the mystics first. I would love to try to charm one of those units. These Sphinxes have mind control immunity, so I won't be able to do that. But I might be able to get... Well, the mystics are going to be very difficult to get because they have much higher resistance. The Sun Guards, however, only have 10 resistance. Wouldn't mind having another Sun Guard in this group of units. In fact, I can't remember if there is one in the other army or not. I don't want to spend too much time running around on account of that immolation. These things have a huge range, so it's almost impossible to prevent them from flanking you or lining up a decent shot. Because they'll use their laser beam attack and try to hit multiple units at once. But my fairies are immune to it, so at least I don't have to worry about them. Okay. I'm going to leave her guard up and see if they take the bait and go after me. Also, I want to buff this guy, Guardian Flame. Maybe I want to buff my spider. Spider does a lot of poison damage, and it's already been set on fire, so it could use the extra health. Yeah, I'm buffing the spider. Oh yeah, that's right, the Firstborn has Guardian Flame too. Can you make it back? No? I kind of hope they don't attack now, because I want to give Guardian Flame to somebody else too. Doesn't look like... Okay, here they come. Okay, well I know who's getting Guardian Flame. Alright, well at least I got him to attack. So Omen of the Dove is active. Physical attacks aren't going to do as much good, but but that extra poison damage will. I need to be very careful here because I cannot afford to lose any units. I don't have to worry nearly as much about the Sun Guards as I normally would. I should be able to kill these guys. Yeah, I was going to say, those fairies will wreck those things. Probably should have attacked this one with the fairy rather than that other one. Oh, they've used their sun disk, so I know they can't have that again. I'm afraid of who I should move up next. I could assassin strike this one, which would do quite a bit of damage. I don't know how vulnerable that leaves my hero, though. I would much prefer to get behind it, but I don't want to expose myself to those other units. And the Sun Guards can cover a lot of distance. Technically, they could reach me if I open up that route. He could finish off that Sun Guard with the gun with relatively little risk to himself. That's probably what I will do with him. So let me Guardian Flame him, get him some of his health back, get him some fire protection, and finish that Sphinx off. These things are too good against those Sphinx to really pass up on. So I'm going to move the fairy here to get her a little closer. Now the spider, I am worried, will get hit by too much from these two, plus a Sun Guard hit. Although the Sun Guard hit isn't going to do as much damage as it normally would. What I would like to do is try to move here and web that unit, but that's going to leave me exposed to plenty of hits from these guys. And my guard's going to be down. That would do up to 7 damage times 3, which would be 21 times 2, because there'd be 2 of them hitting me. Although this one would be a little bit too far away to get all 3 shots in at full damage. But the spider doesn't really have enough health to take that many hits. I wonder if, perhaps, she could stand a bit further back. She's got enough health to take that much damage, I think. 8 times 3 would be 24, 48 tops. Would I kill it is the question. 9 times 3, I would probably kill it. I would have to really low roll this. If I did the absolute minimum damage on each hit, or close to it, although not all of those hits are going to be flank attacks either. Not sure if I can pull this off or not. How much would Assassin Strike do? It doesn't really matter because it would leave me vulnerable to those guys. I think I'd be better off saving that for later. Maybe I can move her back a bit. Get her a little further away from that other Sphinx. Or from that other Mystic. I think this is probably the better spot. Okay, that's kind of what I thought would probably happen. And the only unit that I have left to kill it with is that spider. So now I have to ask myself, is it better to just let it attack something? It can't use... It can't use Sun Disk again. It's got really low morale, so that doesn't help it very much. In fact, it's severely poisoned. Does it lose health? Oh, it'll die. It'll die. Okay, so I shouldn't have to worry about that unit, which means I don't really need to risk my spider, which is good, because I did not want to risk that spider. Now I have to think about where the spider should best be put at, whether there's any other units at risk. The fairies are absolutely no risk, so I don't need to worry about them. The Sun Guards can't reach this guy. They can, but they won't do a lot of damage with this Guardian Flame up. The only unit that's remotely at risk is my hero. In fact, the spider's probably more at risk than anybody else, because it's got less health. Hero's got 58 plus the fire resistance, I think. No, wait, no, she's got spirit protection from being a Tigran. So yeah, the tiger, or the spider is actually the one I need to worry about protecting. So on that note, I will put the spider probably back here. I'll run it out and web something on the next turn. Okay, and then he'll just fall over and die. You go ahead and shoot me all you want. Okay. Alright, now my leader is pretty beat up. I gotta be careful with her, because I obviously don't want to lose her. I've already used both of my Guardian Flames, so I'm out of healing. I am so tempted to just use Nightshade Fairies to blow away those Sun Guards. I might do that because I don't have any other decent way of flanking them. But they've got Sun Shield, so they're going to resist the fire damage from the Forge Priest. And I think the Mystics resist fire no, they just resist Spirit. So I can attack those Mystics, no problem. Problem is he's kind of far away, but I still think I'll move him one space and just hit him 3 times. Alright, so knowing all that, I think I need to get this guy off of my fairy. Also got to remember the Dreadnought has Pounce and has Web. It could come in handy. I should be able to kill enough of those Mystics on this turn that I'll be in pretty good shape. I want to try to charm somebody here, but I don't know if that will be doable. My rogue can come around and stab this Mystic, but I don't have a way of ensuring that this other Mystic doesn't kill my rogue, because my rogue is on fire. What I need to do is kill these guys, or preferably actually web them. If I can web them with this spider, I could send him out and try to web that Tigran Mystic. And that would maybe open them up with some other options too. Only problem is, units are in the way. This is not convenient at all. I want to move them here. Oh wait, no, that's not really a... Yeah, that is kind of a problem. Wait, no, not really. So if I move the spider here, I can get a chance to try to web them. Okay, I got it. That allows this fairy to move up closer to that Mystic and kill it if I choose to do so. He can move down here with Guardian Flame. I shouldn't have anything to worry about from this other Mystic. And I can try to web her. Okay, good. Excellent, excellent. Alright, and then my hero is free to probably just Assassin Strike this one. Rather have the extra XP for her. Alright, and then it's basically a question of do I want a Sun Guard or a Mystic? I think I'd rather have the Mystic. So, especially with Omen of the Dove being currently active. So the fairies can kill those guys. Okay. This battle turned out to be quite a bit tougher than I was expecting going into it. Oh, I do have mosquito darts. Why didn't I use that? That would have done a lot more damage to the when I was killing the Sphinx here. Ah, mistakes. Okay, still have... Oh, the spirit protection on Tigran units makes them a lot more difficult to... charm and seduce and all that good stuff. I was hoping those guys had, like, Inflict Immolation or something. But none of these units do. Can't break spirit or nothing like that, so I just need to try to charm them. I got them! Got a little lucky there. That was only a 27% chance. Okay, so that battle took up a lot more time and effort than I thought it would. That was a tough... Ooh, I got a good item. I know who's getting this. This guy. You can have that. Turning him into a pretty solid tank. Okay, now that everyone's beat up, I could go fight the dwarves. Yeah, I think I'd be safe to do that. My army's pretty beat up, but the dwarves don't have anything that's going to be able to reach and kill anyone in one shot. So I should be able to just run down there, do that, and then start moving back up, reform my army, and get ready for my charge on the orcs. I just really want to get in here first, because I want to find out if there is any... I want to find out if there's any good units in here. Not that I'd really be able to afford to buy them, but out of curiosity and for the sake of getting XP, if nothing else, I suppose. Alright. Very likely victory. Plus, this will give me a chance to manually heal some of the units that got a bit beat up in that last battle. And I pretty much know who that's going to be. Dreadnought can heal himself. You can heal her. Doesn't heal her much, though. I still want him to have that extra healing, because I might need him to pounce at some point. The rogue can kind of stay out of the fight, more or less. Dwarf boar riders just aren't very fast, so I don't have to worry about them to the extent that you would with other races' units. I'm going to move her back, though, anyway, just to kind of get her behind something. Let these units charge me and see what they do. I kind of actually wish I'd have left him up there, but then again, he couldn't have used Guardian Flames to put up his defense. Okay, there's that crossbow. Alright, the Deep Guards walked right in front of my fairies, and they're the one unit that I would really like to have going after them. Unfortunately, he didn't finish them off. Yeah. I want them dead. Those fairies would be tough enough to take a couple hits from a Deep Guard, especially with Omen of the Dove active. I just don't want him charging anything or anybody. I could send the spider to try to web the Deep Guard. That's a 50% chance, which wouldn't be bad, but I'm afraid of the spider taking damage right now. She could sprint, get behind, and actually probably kill the crossbowman, but I need to make sure that somebody takes that unit out. And I've already moved stuff in the spider's way so that it can't... Well, actually, it doesn't matter. The spider wouldn't have been able to reach anyway. So basically, one of these two needs to kill that Deep Guard. And I'm not sure who it should be. He's got a chance to try to web those guys, and could hold his own if they fought back. Alright, here's an idea. Move her here to get her away from the action a little bit more. And then you can mosquito dart this guy. Because I am going to want to try to convert, I think, that Deep Guard. Probably should have tried to convert the boar, but for the sake of taking less damage, I decided it was probably better to not do that. Alright, he should handle hits from that thing just fine, even though it has polearm. So I'm going to web it. Okay, I got it. And then these guys should be easier to web. Got them too. Alright, good luck with the webs. Maybe that's a good sign. Alright, so I'm going to try to get the Deep Guard. Got him. Alright, cool. And you can go ahead and just finish him off. Get some lifesteal back. Frostling Ice Queen, Human Halberdier. No, nothing I really want to buy down here. I'm gonna say this is good enough, what I've got going for me here. So this army is kind of all a little bit of a mess. I gotta reform them a bit. Definitely want the rogue. Probably want a fairy with each group. So I'll put the rogue with a fairy, send her up there. And I want the dwarf with them providing healing, because that army doesn't have healing otherwise. And then my dreadnought here can get his own fairy for his group. Let's split up the animals, one each. So the bear can go with my leader. Send actually, the bear could go with this guy, I think, because he's got web. This army doesn't have web, so add her to that group. Let's see, who else? Both of these saber-tooth chariots are really good, so I'll say one each. I want those two in the same group, so they can fit in with the dreadnought. Who do I have left? I've got my new mystic, my new deep guard, goblin swarm darter. Probably the swarm darter, just because he's good underground. And then the rest of these units are going to just kind of be extras. So I got two really solid armies here, getting ready to ship out and go after the orcs. And they'll wait. And hopefully it'll be just a real quick straight shot up there. If I had tunneling, I'd probably burrow through if that was rock. I mean, if that was dirt. All right, so I have something important to do on this turn. Back up here at my capital. Master's Guild is done. I am going to cast Scales of Fortune. And I'm going to close and not end the spell. Jeez. Alright, if I have spare casting points, I do not. I was going to say I should reinforce an existing spell, but that's okay. Alright. Why did I just get a huge boost of research? Like a ton, like 429. Where did that come from? What? I don't get it. It was like as soon as I cast that spell on this city, I got just a ton of research. How did I get a 429 knowledge surplus? I didn't get it from completing the city-state quest, did I? Or this vassal city quest? What am I missing here? I wouldn't have got... maybe I got it from the Sphinx Temple and I wasn't paying attention. I don't know. I didn't realize I'd picked that up. Well, I'm not going to complain. Let's get some free stuff. Alright, when you get a huge mana surplus, I think it's generally better... I had a thorough discussion with somebody about this at one point, and kind of came to the conclusion, or they explained to me how this works when you have a bunch of surplus mana, the most efficient way to distribute it. I don't remember how that all worked. To me, you should just get it and use it, and 429 mana is 429 mana, and you just keep clicking things until it's gone, but that doesn't seem to be how the game works. That doesn't really help me right now. I did promise to get Quick Dash, but that's a very low value, and I can research that very quickly on my own. Domain of Earth would be good combined with Iron Grip. Produce Assassin would be good because I can move closer to getting Succubi. Cruel Backstab gives irregular and infantry units backstab. That would be also useful, but not so much yet. Maybe a little later. Plague of Brigands, not something I want right now. I actually won't be able to see their city on the next turn because my crow is going to be dead. Huh. This one might be useful. This one would help protect my cities from enchantments. Although right now the enemy can't really see my cities anyway unless the rogue or whoever, one of them has, I think it's the rogue, has like a some sort of spy spell that lets you see inside enemy cities. Well, I know I want succubi as fast as I can get them, so I'm going to say produce assassin. And see, I still have that knowledge surplus, so I'm not really sure what the issue was the last time that like I had wasted research somehow when I chose a research surplus. So if somebody remembers, or if I think if you are the person who I was talking to, you might remember that conversation. Maybe clarify whether I did anything wrong. But my understanding is that it's better off to use mana surpluses on big research surpluses on spells that take more research overall. Produce Succubus takes a lot, so I'm going to use the rest of it on that. Actually, I could get Quick Dash. I'm going to grab Quick Dash, just so I have it. It'll take me another turn to get Produce Succubus, but I don't really need it yet. Oh, there's Panic Attack, though. If it fails, the unit is shaken instead. Now, here's something I want to look up. Does Shaken lower a unit's resistance? No, just their morale, which I think might secondarily. I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure exactly what effect morale has. Like specifically, does it increase stats at all, or does it just make you more or less likely to critical hit or fumble? I don't know. If you guys know that, does morale have an effect on the base stats of a unit, like their resistance and stuff like that? I don't think it does, but I could be wrong. You can let me know, I suppose. Anyway, I could still see that spell being useful. As well as blind, perhaps. I think blind could come in really handy since I'm about to do a city siege. Getting rid of range attackers on top of the wall, that'd be great. Man, how did I get so much mana? Like, it just seems weird that this is all at once. Stone Skin's another battlefield spell that would be great. I'm not really ready to build Succubi yet, so I'm okay with like having that wait. I do have the option to build Assassins now. Domain of Earth is something I would like, but I think I'm going to get Cloak and Dagger too, just because of the new combat spells I picked up. So I do have Quick Dash now, which gives me another healing option for my rogue. Negotiate. I really want... Oh wait, no, I don't need to run in there and pick up that mana. That's fine. I have plenty of mana. Speaking of which, I should cast another spell soon. Whenever I have channeling points on the next turn. I'm trying to decide what to do with this crow now. I want to continue moving in that direction, but he would have to go through their borders to do that. There's no other easy way to get up there. I guess I'll go down and around, fly through this lava lake, and try to go up this way. See what's back there. Alright, since that orc army apparently left, I'm going to have my raven scout this area out. They might be a vassal of the enemy. Nope, they're just an independent that's at war with me. I can probably capture that city real quick as I'm running through the area. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's see what else is in there. Alright. Well, they've got a gold mine. That's better than nothing. Alright, you guys can wait. There's nothing I can do spell-wise between now and the next turn, so I think I'm good. If anyone has any idea how I got all that, like, 459 knowledge surplus, let me know. My suspicion is that it must have had something to do with the Sphinx Temple, but I don't know what, because I didn't think it gave me anything other than that big item, or that item that I picked up. And I could go back and watch the video and find out. It'll probably make more sense after that, but as far as I know, Solid Chainmail of Heroes was the only thing I got out of that structure. So if I did get a bunch of research, I didn't see it. Somebody had a critical failure, Disjuncting Treasure rating. Okay, I won't be able to run from him, so turn off cast spells and auto combat. Actually, what you can do here is not even give him the XP for killing you, and just go into manual combat and surrender. It takes extra time, but, you know, it's a little bit less XP that his hero accumulates. That's alright, Raven. We'll come and avenge your death soon. Things are going to get crazy up here real quick. Can't wait to see my armies pouring out of the caves. And this group right here, you know, I'll have to go back and watch the video because I didn't really look too much at how many units they had in that area, but that's going to be really important. Either way, you know, regardless, I think at this point in the game, I just really have to go for it. But, oh, hey, that's a nice spot for this fortress. I think I'll be able to see the cave entrance with it, or for that tower. But I think this army down here is definitely good enough. I think they will do very well in open field combat with another rogue, because I got a lot of good units here, several tier 3s and 2 heroes that are really good. So I'm feeling like that's all in pretty good shape. Alright, before I get distracted with stuff going into this next turn, I think I'm going to have to call it for this episode. So, yeah, overall, things are in good shape. Getting ready for charge. Should have a lot more battles. Apologize, this one focused so much on just one battle here, so it might not have been the most exciting episode, but that was important to get right. I did not want to lose anybody, so... Alright, thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the comments and in the next episode.